Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. I want to mention, first of all, that March is Kidney Health Month. Very important time, not only to raise funds, but of course to raise awareness. Really proud, as a matter of fact, on Saturday night I'll be emceeing a wonderful event put on by the Italian community raising funds for the Kidney Foundation of Canada. And my next guest is a wonderful ambassador and has been kind enough to share his own story. I'm joined by Richard Dubois, Kidney Health Month ambassador with the Kidney Foundation of Canada. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Richard, let's start with your story. I know it can be a difficult diagnosis when it comes to kidney disease. Tell me about your diagnosis.
Oh, it's very true. A lot of people who have kidney disease don't even know it. Right. In my case, I was a little different. I was diagnosed with a kind of a rare disease called Alport syndrome when I was very young. I was still in grade school. Okay. And there were a few signs that something was off. And so I'm kind of the exception to the rule that my parents figured out, you know, something was wrong with me medically. And so my kidney journey, as we describe it, has been going on since I was very, very young.
Right.
But a lot of people don't know that they have kidney disease until, you know, symptoms start to arise and then they start to get a little sick. So this month we're hoping to raise some awareness so that people know a little bit more about kidney disease and the signs to watch for. And also to help, you know, raise funds, raise awareness, because the Kidney Foundation, the focus is doing just that, raising awareness and letting people know that we exist and we're here to help people.
You're also a two-time kidney donor recipient as well, right?
Recipient, yeah. My kidney stopped working when I was in my early 20s.
Okay.
And because of the disease I had, it was inevitable. And so I got my first transplant. I got a live donor. My brother, my awesome brother, gave me a kidney. And that got me through university. And then I was back on dialysis for a while, and then I got a second donor who is a deceased person, and I still have that kidney to this day. We'll be celebrating 18 years together in April.
Wonderful. Congratulations on that. So are there daily challenges for you, Richard?
There are. As with any chronic illness, you have to, you know, watch what you eat, go to regular clinics, take your medications as prescribed, and so on. But again, these are all things that we try to let people know about. Let the day-to-day challenges. It's not just a challenge for the kidney patient, but also for their families.
Of course.
It's a whole family thing.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
It's a family thing, and so when we want to raise awareness, we want to raise awareness not just for kidney patients, but for all the people that you know that are part of their lives, their family, their friends, because it's a big community of people.
How does the Kidney Foundation then help not only individuals but families as well?
Well, I'm a volunteer for what we call the Peer Support Foundation, and so what I do is I meet on a regular basis with different people. Some are pre-dialysis, some people are just newly diagnosed with kidney disease, others have been on dialysis or waiting for a transplant. We also meet with people and their families just to give them some insights so they can talk to someone like me who's been there and who understands what they're going through to help them navigate the system. That, you know, we're sort of like an extra level of support in addition to the medical staff. And so our goal as a peer support volunteer, my goal is to pay back a little bit, to give back from all the help I've gotten over the years.
Yeah, I mean, that must be so incredibly fulfilling. You know, what has the response been like and the experience been like?
It's an ever-growing group of people, and I find that I've been doing this for a long time. I started in Toronto when the peer support program was much smaller.
Okay.
And since moving to Ottawa, I thought, well, I might as well continue. But then the pandemic struck, so that everything is online, and so we're talking about doing more in-person peer support groups. And the response is excellent. People always seem to appreciate just being able to talk to someone. Everyone has questions, and everyone has concerns, and not knowing is probably the biggest thing that most people experience.
You mentioned that, you know, the symptoms are very underlying until they become, I guess, obvious. What are some of the more obvious symptoms that people should look for?
Well, in my case, the reason why I was diagnosed very early is because with my disease, I have problems with hearing and with vision.
Okay.
And so that's a bit unusual, but a lot of people, they won't know they have any problems until maybe they start to not feel well or they're low energy. They'll see their family doctor, and their family doctor will discover something is not working quite right, and then eventually they'll figure out they have kidney disease. But there are also risk factors. So, for instance, if you have diabetes, you have a much higher chance of developing kidney disease later in life.
Okay.
And obesity can be a problem. Hypertension, heart disease can be a problem. So these are all factors that you have to look at. Kidneys are very systemic. They're involved in almost every part of your body. So there's a lot of little warning signs. The trick is to figure out what's going on.
Oh, and they play a very important function, right,
yes.
in our bodies. And I think sometimes, we don't realize how important that function is.
No, kidney disease has been described as the sort of invisible disease. You don't know what's going on until you absolutely know. Yeah. And there's only two. It's not treatable. You can't cure kidney disease. You either are on dialysis or you get a transplant.
Yeah.
And again, part of the reason we want to raise awareness this month is so that more people can maybe consider donating a kidney.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be to a family member. It can be anybody.
Right. So let's talk about that awareness campaign. How are you helping sort of spread the word, and then how can we help spread the word?
Well, it's probably good to know that it's a more prevalent disease than maybe people realize. 1 in 10 Canadians have kidney disease, and a lot of them don't know it.
Wow,
and,
I didn't realize the numbers were that
it's about 4 million Canadians. And so we're also hoping to not just raise awareness, but raise funds. And every little dollar counts. I mean, every little bit is kind of helpful. So for my part, I'm just happy to volunteer and do what I can just to raise awareness. But coming on a show like this is just so people know about it.
Yeah.
Chances are you officially know someone with kidney disease.
That's right, exactly.
And everybody I know knows me.
And everyone in this room now knows you.
Everybody in this room knows you. Most of us know
point.
someone who may have kidney disease.
Yeah, and I think another, sometimes we look at social media as a negative, but it can be a real positive. And part of this campaign is really sharing. If you have a story, if you know somebody, take a picture with them. Use that. You've got a couple of hashtags. Make your mark and hashtag Kidney Health Month. And again, this is a way to raise awareness so that we can raise much needed funds, because we've come a long way in the research, but there's still certainly a long way to go. Richard, really appreciate you spending time with us today and sharing your experience and your journey with kidney disease with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It's a real pleasure. Again, it is Kidney Health Month, and you can visit the website. I mean, there's a ton of resources at the Kidney Foundation's website. You can find out more information there. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this. Don't go anywhere.